it absolutely caught me. And I heard also in Britain there was this phone line that you could call if you were a veteran in need.
Yeah.
And I heard that the numbers of calling increased like 800%
Exactly.
when the Taliban took over. So that was good to hear that, because I understand that there were other veterans also who were struggling and were affected by this. And I guess I also were more affected than I thought I would be.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't change my life in any way. I mean, my family and my security. And I didn't go to Afghanistan as an investment. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to try to figure out yourself what you invested in and how you did it. But obviously, I did invest, and obviously, it did not only caught my attention, but it felt like I was punched not in the face but in the stomach. Not hard enough for me to fall on the ground crying, but hard enough for me to really feel it. And it was like that for many days in a row. Like I was punched in the stomach in the morning every day.
They were part of the tight-knit team, and then to leave them behind and say goodbye at the end was a bit like leaving one of your soldiers behind. The whole thing of like, you never leave anyone behind, and you train in training, you train that if somebody gets injured, you do everything to get them out of there. Or if somebody gets killed, you fight to get them out of there. So to leave the interpreter behind felt weird. The only comfort to that was you knew that you were entrusting them to the next person who you knew would treat them in the same way. But then, therefore, to leave them behind at the end now is just, it feels so wrong. It feels like we've left soldiers behind. It feels like we've left Corporal Jones from Cardiff. It feels like we've left him there. It's bizarre.
I remember thinking, wow, when it hit the front pages of some of those newspapers, part of me thought, what have we done? We've really got onto something. And I think again that was the first time, because of course any media that we had and before then had been of interest, and it might have been on the Today program, but it had never been like front page news. And that was the first time it was clear that this wasn't just an interest story. This was something that was going to become like a big thing and a big story. And that there was genuine national interest in this, in this situation. What else do I remember about that?
And all of a sudden it turned into April of 2021 after the Americans announced the pullout of Afghanistan. They were like, I need help. I need help, like really badly. Like, should I move from Kandahar up to Kabul now? And I'm like, I have no idea what you should do. But the relationships that I had, I felt compelled to do it because the way that I looked at it is like, when I developed a relationship with Jamie in Afghanistan at the end of my 2006 tour, it became a trust. Like, it was like I almost trusted him more than I did even some of the fellow soldiers that I had, because he was like, don't go that way, don't do this, don't walk there, like, you know, and you listen to him.
It was Kenya where I really became aware that the local staff were dispensable, and it made me feel really, really uncomfortable that locals were being made to feel like second-class citizens in their own country. People had been knocking on her door, on her family's door, and she was terrified, and she'd actually applied for the Australian resettlement scheme, but she wasn't hearing anything about it. She was making reports of intimidation, and she was passing them to me, I was passing them to her employer, she was passing them to her employer, no one was taking them seriously, and then just one day she just didn't come back to work. And I don't know for certain, but one of the other female interpreters indicated that she might have just gone over to Pakistan and left Afghanistan because she was terrified.